Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest is passionate about helping people grow their own food, and he's here to share his secrets for tasty tomatoes. Please welcome back the Executive Director of Growing Gardens, Jason Skipton. Good to have you with us. Good to see you again.
How are
yes,
you?
good.
Good to see you.
All right, let's talk.
Yeah.
Is now the time to plant tomatoes?
Please plant now. Last time
great.
I was here, I was like, wait, now's the time.
Now's the time.
Go. All of the plant nurseries have tomatoes.
Okay.
All of these are just
now I'm excited.
great and ready to go.
Okay.
Right? Like this is the time to do it. It's really about the temperature, right? So it's been warm.
Yeah.
It's been warm at night. Now's the time because where is originally this plant from? Quick question.
I don't know.
Any guesses? Any guesses? Mexico, right? Mexico, Central South America.
Yeah.
So it likes warmer
weather. Okay.
weather, right?
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things that we need to think about with tomatoes. There's kind of two tracks.
Okay.
You have your determinate and your indeterminate. You're going to see them on tags.
Okay.
Right? And there's a big distinction. A determinate is really something they call a bush tomato.
Okay.
It's small.
Yeah.
You can plant in containers. It's awesome. Think of Roma.
Oh, yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
so Roma, it'll get to a certain height,
Yeah.
and then it will set all of its fruit, and they'll all ripen at about the same time.
Okay.
So a lot easier to manage.
Okay. So that's what you would
Indeterminate,
suggest.
yeah,
Okay.
for a container.
Yeah.
An indeterminate is actually something like a cherry tomato, like a sun gold. Everyone loves.
Oh, yeah.
But it's gonna go 8 feet, 6 feet tall.
Oh, I had no idea.
And
Okay.
it'll continue to set fruit and flower at the same time. So you'll have ripe fruit and green fruit on the same plant.
Okay.
Right? So a couple of secrets we're gonna plant
Yeah.
here in this guy.
Yeah.
So one that I learned a long time ago was plant tomatoes deep, right?
Oh.
So if you can take one thing away from today's session
Yeah.
is plant deep. So if you were going to get this plant and plant it at home, where would you plant it in the ground? More or less like soil line. Where would you put it in the soil?
I'm going to guess right here.
Right here, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we should be planting this tomato here.
No.
Yes, all the way down here.
You're
Right?
kidding me.
So you want this to have a deep root structure. That's
Okay.
really key to tomatoes because the more roots that it has,
Yeah.
the more nutrients it can bring into your plant, and it's going to be more stable.
Sure.
So thinking about planting this deep, right? You want to get this as far down.
So are you going to pull off these
You
leaves
can.
then?
You can
Yeah.
totally clip those. You can actually just bury them.
Oh.
They're just going to kind of rot in the soil. Totally
Okay.
fine to do.
Okay.
The other one that I learned from the PSU Farmers Market, a farmer a long time ago, probably about a decade ago, he's like, I have a secret to tell you. I was like, okay, I'm ready. What is it? He's like, if you plant this in the ground, this root ball is now a foot deep in colder soil. But there's a method called the J method where you actually plant like this. You put it and
Wow.
set it into the ground. So now your root ball is
A little
6,
higher,
8 inches
a little
higher,
warmer.
right? And a little
Okay.
warmer. So we're going to
Yeah.
do that. So don't be scared. I've broken some plants before. It has happened.
Okay.
So, you know,
I
you
see.
dig
yeah,
this out.
that's what I would think too, is that if you planted in the J method, you would
It's going to break
it.
a little bit, but it's very pliable.
And
at this
don't worry
point.
about getting dirt on the counter.
You got to have fun with this, right?
We'll clean it up.
The other thing that I want to really recommend is calcium. So this is what I did yesterday. I dried some eggshells, and then I ground them into a fine
wait a minute.
powder.
How do you grind? How do you grind eggshells? You put them like in a.
I would say like a spice grinder.
Oh,
Don't put them in
really?
your coffee grinder because, you know, you're going to
Yeah,
have
you got-
coffee.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of important.
Right.
But you dry out the shells. Key to that is you have to dry the shells. If you do
Sure.
it like after, you know, there's like that little bit of like wetness in it.
Right.
It's going to get really gummy. It's not great. So I just dry these in the sun.
Okay.
3 eggshells. Put a dusting in here because calcium's really important.
I'm learning a
Right?
ton
So
today. Okay.
J method.
Yeah, gotcha.
Right? Bring it on in
Yeah.
and then cover it up.
Yeah.
You want to really kind of like compact this down. This is going to then come right back up. It's
Okay.
going to like find the sun. That's like a really big part of
Right.
what tomatoes want to do. So this is ready to go, and then watering.
And how is it easy to overwater or?
Oh my gosh.
Or do they
That's
need a
the
lot?
biggest problem.
Oh, it is.
No. They don't need a lot of water.
Okay.
So think they're from Mexico,
Mexico.
Central America, South America. They actually are, you know,
yeah.
they don't need a lot of water. That's the biggest thing that people do is they'll water this every day.
Yeah.
Gallons and gallons of water. And it's not great for the plant. It's actually going to cause your tomatoes to rot.
Oh.
Right? A lot of people get in blossom rot.
Yeah.
And it starts to then look black on the bottom. It's because you've watered it too much and you've actually leached out all of the calcium.
Oh wow.
So you try to
okay.
put calcium in there, and you try to then, you know, prevent that from happening, but then it gets too far. It gets too far down. Other thing is companion planting. So some
They
plants
need friends.
plants need
Yeah.
friends just like we do.
Yeah.
And some of them actually work really, really well together.
Now, what is
One
that plant?
would be basil.
Basil, of course.
Basil and tomatoes, right? We all love how that
Oh,
goes
yeah,
together, right?
yeah.
They actually like to grow together as well. Think that, how funny that would be.
That is.
So again, plant it in here. Push this down.
And so obviously basil doesn't need a lot of water either then.
No, it doesn't need a lot of water, but it needs shade.
Okay.
This is where these two actually are beneficial to one another. This one's going to grow big and tall
Right.
and create shade for this plant that doesn't like a lot of sun.
Oh, okay.
So now you have a beneficial plant
Right.
that's providing shade for this that doesn't actually like it all the time.
Right. And then these poles here.
Yeah, these are
bamboo.
structures. So I
Okay.
just, made this yesterday. So these are bamboo poles. I wanted to show you a different, tomato cage.
Yeah.
So this is something that you can actually buy here. Again, it's a local product. They're called sea bites. And they're basically clip on to anything
great.
like a bamboo, and you
Yeah.
can continue to grow on this,
Yeah.
right? As your plant grows, you then follow along and make sure that it's growing in the direction that you want it to.
Tell me about growing gardens.
Yeah, so we've been around almost 30 years. Can you believe that?
No.
So we do garden-based education and leadership development through agriculture.
That's
so we're
great.
working with families, getting gardens built, providing consultations, but also 3 years of support.
Yeah.
That's everything.
Well,
So
also when
plants,
people
seeds,
grow
everything.
their own vegetables and fruits and all of that, I mean, you'll eat it.
Of
Like
course.
the kids learn to grow, they'll
They
eat.
learn to grow, and then it's a deeper connection to food. It's also
Absolutely.
a deeper connection to your health and well-being.
Yeah.
And it's also a deeper connection to your community. You
Yeah.
know, you plant too many tomatoes, you plant too many zucchini, what do?
You
Start
give 'em to
knocking
your
on your neighbor's
neighbors.
door.
Yep,
Right? So it's
absolutely.
a way to actually build community through food.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Good to see
I
you.
want to tell everyone we're going to put everything on our website at katu.com. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away.